So we started the planking and put lots of lines on it so that we know where the boards join. Start on one side and go right across to the false gun ports, and then do the other side, and as per the instruction, then fill in the middle. Using the vernier caliber, again we set up the boards are 130 millimeters long, so we set that up on the old pre-arc with a sliding table, and it really is just a fantastic tool to do multiple choices of the exact same. So we'll leave this set up. Any other adjustments we'll do on the other saw, and leave the pre-arc so that there's no mistaking the size of the planks. Once you've cut the planks, I use a pencil to highlight the edge. You could do both edges. You certainly want to do the ends. And what that does is it helps define the edge of the board when you come to do the final sanding. You can also use ink. I tend to find when I've used ink in the past, it tends to run along the grain of the board, and you lose a lot of the individual boards because the ink is spread too far. So a graphite pencil really does enough, because all you want to do is really just highlight the line. You saw me putting the pencil on one, and that would take forever. But the quick way is that after you cut all the boards together, you hold them, and you can do a whole batch at one time, and it's much easier to do this way. And then just flip it over and do the same thing. So, as you know in life, there's a technique for doing anything. It's very important when you are cutting planks that you use a square, and I have quite a few small squares, so that you draw a straight line. And the reason I'm doing this is these boards are so thin, it's very difficult to cut them on a saw without some level of burring, maybe even damaging the plank. So I tend to use a scissors. There's some chop saws that are very good. I don't know why I never bought one. I bought every other tool for modeling that there is. But a scissors is really ideal, and if you have a nice straight line to cut, you really get a nice clean joint. So this is my preferred chop saw. And again, the technique is the same PVA glue. Not too much, but not too little either. You want it to hold and stick properly. And make sure you line it up in the correct spot. And on with the second one. You should also try and choose the best side. These planks, I'm noticing it have a good side and a bad side. So you want to make sure you always keep the good side up. And then you should scrape off any extra glue that falls off the other side, because when you start to plank here, these planks are very thin and you don't have a lot to take off on them. So you really want to make sure you get it as level as possible. The most important thing in planking is to make sure you do the entire full strip, including any filler pieces that you have going up. So you may notice there's a tiny little piece here. You don't want to leave any piece out to come back and do it afterwards, because the odds are it's going to be slightly out, and slightly out on a model like this is going to irritate you because you won't be able to fill it. And this deck is the most important part of it. So take the time and make sure you do straight lines each time. Well, there she is, the rough planking now complete. We clean it up in the morning, give it a first sanding and a coat of polyurethane to protect it. If you don't do that, these white woods tend to get stained very easily. Another little magic tool from Proxon is this miniature sander, which once I was able to find new sticky sandpaper, really works fantastic. And now we are going to put the first coat of polyurethane on it. I've left the dust in because I want to actually use the dust to fill in some of the holes. And we're going to do a few sandings. So right now we're just putting it on. We'll rub it on in a little while with a piece of cloth, but literally using all the dust to fill all the little holes from the boards that somehow didn't stay very tight together. And now we're just going to rub it down, which will again push any of the sanding dust either out of the way or into the cracks, and it will really smoothen everything out. Real nice. And here we have it. Beautiful job. We'll put another light sanding on it to take it down, and one more coat, and then if necessary a third coat. But it really came out beautiful.